The Supreme Court bid farewell to Chief Justice of India Sanjeev Khanna, who passes on the baton to Justice B.R. Gavai. Addressing a ceremonial bench on the day of his retirement, Chief Justice Khanna said, and I quote, "The public trust that the judiciary has cannot be commanded and has to be earned," end of quote. Ashmit joins us now to sum up the 6-month tenure, which, though brief, wasn't without tension. Ashmit.
Well, I met the CJI Justice Khanna over a cup of tea just a few days before his retirement. And as a curious journalist, I inquired about the investigation into cash at Justice Yashwant Verma's residence. His reply was curt but pointed. He said, "If there's any news coming from the Supreme Court, you can rest assured it's not from me." Words that symbolize his 6-month tenure at the helm of the Indian judiciary. Justice Sanjeev Khanna retires as India's 51st Chief Justice, having taken over the reins in November of 2024. He's had a brief tenure of just a little over 6 months. As he walks out of courtroom number 1 in Supreme Court, taking his seat as India's 52nd Chief Justice will be Justice Bhushan Ramakrishna Gavai. Now, for someone who followed the media blitz of former CJI Justice Chandrachud, Justice Khanna's tenure was unusually quiet. But quiet did not mean without tension. The biggest issue during his tenure was a situation almost out of a 90s Bollywood production. On the night of March 14th, a fire broke out at the residence of Delhi High Court Judge Justice Yashwant Verma. On reaching the location, fire marshals discovered gunny bags full of half-burnt cash. An unprecedented crisis, social media fury, and public confidence at an all-time low in the judiciary. Now, to restore lost faith, CJI Khanna followed the mantra, "Sunlight is the best disinfectant." On March 22nd, in a first-of-its-kind move, CJI Khanna published all the details on the Supreme Court website. The website now had pictures and videos of the cash, reports by the Delhi police, as well as even reports by the Delhi High Court Chief Justice recommending a probe. Subsequently, CJI Khanna appointed a 3-judge inquiry committee, which submitted its report within 45 days on May 5th. And by May 8th, Justice Khanna had already dispatched this report and Justice Verma's response to the President and to the Prime Minister. Now, here's what's interesting. As per the Supreme Court's in-house procedure, the CJI is required to refer the matter to the President and the Prime Minister only if the inquiry committee has found substance in allegations and has recommended his removal and the judge has refused to resign. CJI Khanna may have paved the way for a rare impeachment proceeding. Moving ahead, another key feature of his tenure will be the judges disclosing their assets to the public. In a first, on the 6th of May, 21 out of 33 judges disclosed their assets and investments on the Supreme Court website. That figure has now risen to as high as 24. This was seen as another step by Justice Khanna to restore confidence after the Justice Yashwant Verma episode. What makes this unique is that similar resolutions for sharing asset details were floated in 1997 and 2009, but most judges chose to avoid any disclosure or scrutiny. On the judicial side, CJI Khanna left his mark on the Waqf case. In a power move, the centre passed the Waqf Act with much fanfare. CJI Khanna, however, stood in the way. He expressed concerns about non-Muslims in Waqf boards and Waqf Council. He also questioned the government on change of status of existing Waqf properties. Now, Justice Khanna had proposed a stay of this new act. Alarmed, the centre undertook that under this new act, no new appointments will be made and status of Waqf properties will not be changed. Justice Khanna also brought an end, at least for now, to the politics of Mandir Masjid. A spurt of cases and trial court orders directing surveys of mosques and dargahs for remnants of temples had led to religious tensions and violence. On December 12th, Justice Khanna passed orders barring any fresh suits for religious sites and stayed trial courts from passing orders directing surveys. Now, even before he became the Chief Justice of India, he had left his imprint on several key cases. Now, he's ruled that CJIs were subject to the RTI. In a landmark case, he was a part of a 5-judge bench that abrogated Article 370. Last year, he was part of another landmark 5-judge bench that struck down electoral bonds as illegal. Interestingly, he also granted bail to Arvind Kejriwal in an ED case to let him campaign during the Lok Sabha elections of 2024. Now, Justice Khanna has tried to play it by the book as a judge and as an administrator. But with cases like challenges to the UAPA, the PMLA and the CAA still pending, some are asking if, despite his brief stint, he could have done more.
Ashmit, many thanks for joining us. Change of guard there at the Supreme Court. Now, at least 15